On the topic of like the lockdown and stuff, what are you doing to stay active at the moment, other than I guess work?
Yes, I finished my dissertation last week. That's kind of taken over my life, but now I'm just working out, reading my Bible, trying to read books. I think it's a good balance, like doing a bit of revision, working out, skipping, trying to skip every day, um, going for runs like once a week 'cause I can't, I hate running. So, yeah, press ups, sit ups, abs, all of that. Yeah, reading my Bible, just making sure, spending this time to get even closer to God. Yeah, reading some books. I used to read books like mad, and then I fell off. When it came to books. So just trying to read books again, and also spending time to actually just chill, because I feel like there's a lot of, it's difficult. There's a lot of like, you see different things. It's interesting. Having a lot of people on social media is interesting because you see different mentalities. You see people that are like, if you don't do something this lockdown, you wasted your life, or like something mad like that. something so crazy. It'll just make you feel just so peak.
Yeah.
And you see how people are just like, they're completely chilling. And I think finding a balance of the two is probably, I think, the best thing. You need to rest. Like, you don't want to be hustling every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also don't want to be just sitting down and doing nothing and not having done the things that in your mind you want to do, that you know you want to do, but you just like keep putting them off because now's the perfect time to do those things. But you also need to chill. So, for example, I want to learn how to code. I'm going to start incorporating that into my weeks. Like, after I, crack on my other coursework, I'm going to start incorporating that. I've already bought the courses. So, like, I'm just going to start cracking on. And yeah, it's that kind of thing. But at the same time, I'm chilling. I'd be lying if I said I was watching a bit of Netflix, playing a bit of 2K, like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
That's a very good point, though. I feel like I've been what's the word for it? Like, I've been someone like that as well, just saying like you have to learn a new skill. But I think for me, when I say like I want to be productive in lockdown, like productivity to me includes mental health.
100%.
Like, I come from a place where, let's say, I don't know, you buy a shed from IKEA and you're trying to build it within an hour, but your hands are wet. Like, your wet hands are, let's say, like a metaphor for mental health.
Mm-hmm.
You can go be like, oh, I've got to put the shed together and spend, 3 days building the shed. Whereas if you just took 10 minutes to take a break, wash your hands and come back to it fresh, you can do it in half the time. Like, I very much see mental health and your physical state as synonymous when it comes to productivity and an element of getting work done. And it's nuts how, as you said, like, you see people on social media who are on extreme in either one camp, where it's like, take time to be safe with your family and to relax and to chill, and others who are like, learn every single coding language or you're screwed. And it's a weird dynamic how, you have these two camps that are like on face value, they're very different, but when you think about it properly, it's very synonymous, I feel like.
Yeah, I honestly, I agree with you. Firstly, starting with mental health, that's probably podcast for another day. But, what's it called? Like, I think it's so important. Like, I think people, and I was saying this the other day, I think people you're too attached to your phones or to your things. And so like, and people are so quick to chat to someone and it's completely meaningless. So like, it was a meaningless conversation that hasn't added anything to your life, instead of focusing on themselves. Like, it was something some of my flatmates said in second year, actually. And it just stuck with me. Like, it was like, people were so scared to spend time, as in like, to spend time, not even by themselves, but in their own head. Like, as in like, if you tell someone, just sit in your room for 10 minutes in the dark, let's say, and think about how you feel and how the week's gone and processing everything, they will just not, they will find a way to not do
it. Yeah.
But that is peak, because things are just going to fester, things are going to build up, and you need to do that. And that's something I've definitely been doing. I've just been like taking like just a bit of, like if I'm just feeling a certain way, I'll just take a bit of space, take a bit of space, like just put my phone in airplane mode, so no messages, no calls come through, and literally just chill, just sit with my own thoughts and just understand what, let's say, is I'm feeling or what is I'm thinking about, and process that, and then be like, cool, now that I thought about it and I've processed it, I have what to do about it, or I know who to speak to about it, or like, do you know what I'm trying to say, like, I have like, this friend would have great advice around this, or I don't really need to speak to him about this, I just need to start this plan of action. So for example, okay, you know, I'm just going to say this example, like, for example, yeah, it could be peak, but say someone's fat, yeah, and yeah, but say you just have someone that's like, let's say you just have someone that's fat, and they're just upset, they don't know why they're upset, they don't think about it, and they just remain upset for the rest of their life. And then one day they spend 10 minutes themselves and they're like, okay, why am I upset? Why am I insecure? Okay, it's because I'm fatter than I would like to be. Like, I'm not the way I would like to be. Okay. Do I need to talk to anyone about this? No. What do I do? What do I need to do about this? Here's a plan of action. Let me start slow. Let me go for a walk go for a mile, 2, 3, 4, 5 mile walk, every day. Then let me start doing 1K runs, and then start changing the way I eat. And then I can talk to people and ask people what they're doing. But now you know what was festering, and now the person's whole mood has changed. But if they never sat down and took that 20 minutes to think about what their feeling was. Because the problem is with feelings, or just emotions, there's always a thought attached to it. No matter what, there's a thought, but you need to find out what that thought is. And then
that's very true.
And then you can always, and then sometimes and the weird thing as well is sometimes when you find out what the thought is, you actually realize that the emotion the feeling isn't even like, what's the word? Like, isn't, not the correct, but like, you'll start to realize that maybe actually I shouldn't even be feeling like this. That makes sense. In the sense of like, say you're really scared about, you're really stressed, and you find out you're stressed because you're scared about your future.
Oh, I'm with you. Yeah.
You're scared about your
rational future. Versus irrational.
Yeah, but you're scared about your future, but then you think about your life. So that sounded fresh. You think about like the current times, yeah.
Yeah.
And you realize, actually, why am I scared about my future? I've got a spring. I have an extensive network. I have, a few interviews coming up, and then you get rid of that feeling. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I very much had that. I was shook for a bit after this virus happened, because I was like, I worked so hard this year for my spring, for like my academics, and now suddenly it's like safety net and spring's postponed. But I sat down and deeped for a sec, like, hold on. Irrespective of whether I complete the spring or not, like, I got onto it. It's a very competitive process, and most of the accomplishments I did in that process I've already done. The actual spring is kind of like flexing, actually getting that achievement.
What?
And yeah, it is. It's nuts. I was getting counseling at the end of last year, I think, and my counselor recommended I use Headspace. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's like an app. It's like a meditation app.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it on, and the app's like, close your eyes, sit still for 1 minute. I'm like, all right, calm. Must be like 10 seconds in. I'm like, oh my days, I can't do that. like, I got to reply to this person, that person. Like, at that point, I realized that there's a very, very big difference between doing nothing and like actually doing nothing. Because whenever I'm doing nothing, it's like I'm sitting here, but I'm thinking about replying to X or editing Y, doing coursework, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think, at least not in my university or student life, I've ever had a minute where it's like, oh, I actually have nothing to do. I actually get to sit here for 10 minutes, stare at a wall and not be worried about anything.
100%. I think a lot of the time when people say they're doing nothing, they're not doing nothing. They're procrastinating. That's the correct word. They're procrastinating.
Yeah.
Like, if you're actually doing nothing, you'd be very conscious of not everything, but you're very conscious of things going on with you, like how you're feeling, etc. But a lot of the time, like I know exactly what you're talking about when you say when you're doing nothing, but to do nothing where you're kind of like you're still using your brain, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not relaxed, I guess is the term.